ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world show made for the fans by a fan. I'm your host, as always, Richard Tiemann. This is the award-winning Fan Show. Happy Tuesday. It was an action-packed weekend of action in all sorts. I was looking for the right words there. It was an action-packed weekend of action. But, really, what else can you say except for it is now officially robot fighting time. Battlebots Season 3 premiered on the Discovery Channel, and what a premiere it was. We had the dream matchup between Minotaur and Tombstone. And it did not disappoint. Ray Billings with the quote of the season, and we're only one episode in. Sorry about your floor. Now, I'm not saying that BattleBots has heels and baby faces like wrestling does, but my goodness, if there was ever a heel out there, it would be Ray Billings, which is funny because every time I've ever interviewed him or had an interaction with him, he's always like the nicest guy. But the character, that's right, the character that he plays when that battle box light goes off and he's ready, it's incredible. I love it. I think it makes for great television, a great sport. So BattleBots Season 3 premiered with their new fight card format. So it was BattleBots Fight Night. This is the start of the regular season. Every win, loss, draw, tie, whatever being tallied, and we'll go to the final portion of the season where they will seed all of the bots accordingly with the criteria. With their new fight card criteria. And if you hear jingling and jangling in Little Muse in the background, it's because I've got the newest member of Fan Nation, the newest member of the Tiemann family, little Fozzie. Hi, Fozzie. And no, we don't mean like Fozzie the Bear. We mean like Fozzie, the band in which Chris Jericho is the frontman for. Say hi, Fozzie. Say hi. No hi? Okay. So anyway, we've got a little bundle of joy named Fozzie here in the form of a kitten, and he is adorable. Yep. Fozzie! So if you hear jingling, it's him playing with his toys, because he's just that adorable that I'm not going to tell him no, but oh, Fozzie. We also had National Arena League action and Indoor Football League action, and we have those scores for you. But I guess without further ado or any more delay, we should probably get to the headlines. And headlines, of course, once again, are brought to you by Dynamite Enterprises. Go and see Ethan at Dynamite Enterprises if you're local. If not, visit them at dynamiteenterprises.com. Now, Dynamite Enterprises is your one-stop shop for anything that you need customized. Apparel, screen printing, embroidery, stickers, banners, trophies, foam fingers, coasters, and even pens. They have got the hookup for you. They do a phenomenal job, I know, because I have some shirts done up by Ethan and Dynamite Enterprises, and they look fantastic. And so I cannot wait to share those shirts with all of you. And, of course, you can always go and order shirts if we run out of those ones at teespring.com/thefanshow. That's the official online merchandise store for Fan Nation and Team Fan Show. But Dynamite Enterprises, they customize your world. So if you can envision it, if you can imagine it, and you need your logo or artwork on it, then Dynamite Enterprises is going to hook you up, all right? So go dynamiteenterprises.com. As for Ethan, tell him that you heard about him on the Fan Show, and they will cut you a deal. It's going to be great stuff, because I know I only endorse those freely, might I add, that I believe in their product for. So thank you very much, Ethan and the guys at Dynamite. The headlines, in case you missed it, there was a car wash. That's right, Spokane Wolfpack had a car wash this weekend that Fan Show and the Wolfpack teamed up to do, so I was their sponsor, and I thought it was a great turnout. the goal that I had in mind for the first time around, we just about met, which was incredible. And then the owner, he had kind of a different goal in mind, but and again, he aims high, he swings for the fences. So we got about halfway there. So there's the difference of perspective between me and the team owner, Travis. But hey, it is what it is. The guys worked hard. It was a hot day, and it was a hot day because I got cooked. And I mean, when we scheduled this 2 weeks ago and made the event for it and everything and got all the stuff, together, coordinated as far as with the team and the place that we were having it, which big shout out to Dishman Baptist Church for having us. Their parking lot worked great, and they were a big chunk of the donations that came our way, members of the church. So thank you so much for that. You guys are awesome. But so we did this, and when we initially scheduled it, it said partly cloudy, high of 70. Okay, that's not too bad. That's decent car wash weather. The night before, in fact, all day before, it was raining. There was like dark clouds, and it was not thunder and lightning, but it was just on and off rain all day. And I'm thinking, man, if it's going to rain tomorrow, and it's going to be just a crap show. So sure enough, it doesn't rain, but all of a sudden, it's supposed to be like a high of 85. So I'm out there tank top and shorts, and like an idiot, didn't have sunscreen because I didn't even know if the sun was going to be out. Clear skies, mind you, clear skies. So I got cooked. Worst sunburn I've ever had probably in the last 10 years. Yeah, let's go back to when I was 20 and dumb. Yeah. And probably that was at Warped Tour, where there was no part of my body left untouched by the sun. My first Warped Tour... Oh, man, did I get cooked. The backs of my ears, the little gap in your hair where your part is or where your cowlick is on the back of your head. Yeah, sun got there, too. I got sunburnt there. But this was so bad. I got second-degree burns, folks. I kid you not. My shoulders look like Braille. Like, you could read my shoulders right now. And so I had a heat stroke, heat exhaustion. It was ugly. Drank nothing but pickle juice for like 24 hours and put on the sun lotion, but I was in so much pain. All Sunday I was pretty much just bed rest and just drinking pickle juice, and I was miserable. Then yesterday, I wake up and I'm super stiff, and I see that the blisters have not gotten any better on my shoulders, so I roll out of bed. I'm supposed to go to work. I call in. I say, hey, I'm going to be a couple hours late because I just need to, kind of wake up a little bit here and get some movement going. And so I was going to go in, and then I wake up again, and it's like nothing had changed. Like I'm still so stiff. Like every movement of my arms and my shoulders, my arms started to ooze. Where the blisters were, they kept breaking open, and so I would have this just nasty droplets rolling down my shoulders. Oh, it was so bad. So today it's a little better. I went into work late because I still had that kind of slow start. But I'm miserable right now because now it's starting to itch, and so I have blisters. My arms itch like crazy. But that's what you do. That's the price to pay to play the game. And I'm just glad that we were able to cover some player fees for the Spokane Wolfpack. So all in all, my misery aside, it was a great thing. And we're going to have Mike Glenn, member of the Wolfpack, who was there all day with me, who didn't get sunburnt. He's going to be on at the end of the show. We do have a great show for you tonight, including the guy who's leading the IFL in interceptions, Bryce Enyard, and a man who's no stranger to interceptions in the indoor game, Robert Brown. So we've got a Barnstormer and a Mammoth coming up. But as far as your scores from around the world of indoor football, the Sharks get their second in a row in the win column over the Lehigh Valley Steelhawks, 44-17. Don't know what's up with Lehigh Valley. They haven't won yet all season. Final in OT, Massachusetts Pirates 44, the Maine Mammoths 43. Now, this game I was not watching, but it had the most crazy finish. It was a 2-point conversion that they went for, that they got, that walk-off 2-point conversion. And we're going to talk to Mr. Robert Brown, who was on the losing end of that, that game, and how he likes being in the NAL with his brother and the Mammoths. But then we will have, hopefully, Nick Hague on the end of the week. We can talk about the winning side of that. The Columbus Lions upset over the Carolina Cobras, and this one, not a walk-off, but man, it was a touchdown with 9 seconds left. Looked like Carolina had this thing with over a minute left. And then the field goal to win it, the Lions kicker hadn't done very well all game long. So that was a crazy finish. A hook and ladder play puts them into touchdown position, the go-ahead score, the field goal, game over. I mean, it was wild and crazy football, and I loved every second of it. In the IFL, Rattlers continued to win on the road against Green Bay. Iowa took care of Cedar Rapids in Iowa Bowl Part 2, and then the Sioux Falls Storm took care of business against the Nebraska Danger. So those are your headlines really from around the world of the Indoor Football League and the National Arena League. Stanley Cup playoffs, the final seed has been decided, so it is the Winnipeg Jets against the Vegas Golden Knights, and then it is the Tampa Bay Lightning against the Washington Capitals. Washington leads 2-0. Vegas and Winnipeg tied at 1 apiece. And then we're getting into the Western and Eastern Conference Finals for the NBA right now. We've got Celtics and Cavaliers in the East, and in the West we've got the Rockets and Golden State Warriors, which, I'll keep you posted as best as I can on that. But really, I mean, it's like I said, I don't follow a whole lot of basketball, because if it ends up being Warriors and Cavs again, like, why bother? Why bother? Tepper is expected to become the next Panthers owner. Let's see here. Eagles Johnson still irritated by Patriots arrogance. I'd say get over it, like you won the Super Bowl. Witten, I think Dez will end up playing for the Packers. I don't know. He wants to play for a team that's going to play Dallas twice a year. We'll see, though. Man, what an odd pairing that would be. The place where Dez didn't catch it, and then we found out that he did catch it, not that it makes any difference, would be his new home. Crazy to see. Former Ravens running back Terrence West is visiting the Colts. And then Bill O'Brien says, Honey Badger to hone in on playing safety. So there's your NFL headlines, your NBA, your NHL headlines, and Robinson Cano, baseball headlines, suspended for 80 games because of a performance violation. But that's your headlines. Indoor, NAL, NFL, MLB, NHL, NBA, and Battlebots. What a great weekend it was. So we will go to commercial, and when I come back, Bryce Enyard of the Iowa Barnstormers. Don't touch that dial. We got more F.A.N. Show coming up right after this. You're listening to the F.A.N. Show, your home for all things football and nonsense. My special guest tonight, Farouk. Farouk, welcome.
He's no expert, but here's the thing. Football and nonsense is what he brings. Sports talk with a twist. It's the F.A.N. Show.
Do you know him as Kevin from the League? It is none other than very funny Steve Ranazisi.
99% of the population doesn't know who I am, but the 1% do. They yell and scream inappropriate things at me in public.
Kyle Ray. Kyle, welcome.
And I was like, wow, I think we just saw the whole Super Bowl, Phyllis. It's like that scene in The Simpsons, like, why rent the movie? I just saw the best part.
Funny man Brad Williams.
Yeah, I'm here. No, I flew in just for your podcast. I've heard about this podcast. I've heard it's fantastic.
It's Mac and Farva, but they are my special guests tonight. Steve Lemmy, Kevin Heffernan.
I was in Mexico for 10 weeks in a Speedo. Like that was me going to work. I was putting on a Speedo.
Farva is the most fun to play, and it was a blast to do that again, to do Farva again.
So then the makeup artist had to put Vaseline on your body, right?
Yeah.
And then put the powdered sugar on top of that. Is your name really Richard Siemens?
Listen live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night on Spreaker.com, or subscribe to the podcast on iTunes and SoundCloud. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and joining me is the interception leader for the Indoor Football League. He is one of Iowa's own, a Barnstormer at best. It is Bryce Enyard. How you doing, Mr. Enyard?
Hey, I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you were one of the first players of the game for the F.A.N. Show this season. You and Mr. Brady Rowland, first ever co-players of the game, offense and a defense. But, man, you've really taken off this season. And, that's not just to single you out, because the Barnstormers as a whole have played really well. But you're there on the defensive side. What would you say has been something that is maybe stands out a little different this season as opposed to last season?
I'd have to say one big thing is just the understanding of the game. Last year was my first year in the IFL, so it was just a little bit different, just going from outdoor football to the arena league style. So, I mean, once I was able to concept of it and everything, I mean, I was able to just start playing football again.
Yeah, and you've been balling out. I mean, what is it? You're on your 8th interception already this year, and I think the next closest to you is there at like 5. I saw a graphic for it the other day, but I don't have it in front of me. But man, you've been doing really well on defense.
Yeah, I can't take all the credit. I mean, our defense as a whole has just been amazing and phenomenal this year. Just the D-line, just being given that pressure. Jack Allen as a linebacker, he's been doing good, leading the whole defense. Coach Coleman making the right calls, and then I mean, when the opportunity shows up right there, I just take control of it.
Yeah, and that's all a person can really ask of players like you guys is to just seize the opportunity when it's there. And you guys obviously took care of business over the Cedar Rapids Titans for the Iowa Bowl Part 2 this year. But, of course, you guys had your toughest test yet, which was just a couple of weeks ago against Sioux Falls, first win in franchise history. You did it on the road. I had your Coach Wooten, on, and he was really excited about it and asked him if this meant that this was Iowa's year, and he believes that. What's the mood been like in the locker room all season, and then what was it like that day after that game?
I'd have to say the mood after that game, I mean, it was different. I mean, just the excitement on all the guys' faces, just to be the first team in Iowa to beat Sioux Falls. I mean, most of us are young, so I mean, we kind of look at it as an advantage because they don't really know the history of Sioux Falls and the success that they've had. I mean, of course, like we told them, like, yeah, this team that like this is a big game and everything, but I mean, they didn't really know that success. So, I mean, they had the fresh mind just to come in and just play football and do the things that we prepared for and just come out there and play. And I mean, just the difference between that game and like the rest of it, I mean, of course, we was very excited just because being the first team in Iowa history to do that.
Yeah, it's definitely something special, and I know that you guys would really like to polish off a special season with a championship, and that's what Coach has kind of instilled with you guys this season. I mean, last year you guys went on that incredible run, and then postseason rolls around, and you guys weren't able to punch your ticket to the United Bowl. But now it seems like anything short of a championship is going to be pretty much like a consolation prize, and I know how much you guys hate consolation prize, but has it been difficult or more of like a challenge for you guys in the locker room to live up to a motto of championship mindset this season?
I mean, for me, speaking wise, I mean, I look at it as a challenge. Like I said, last year was my first year just getting into it, so we had quite a few vets and everything, and I mean, it was just good being able to learn from them, just making it that far and having that success last year, but then falling short and losing the way we did. I mean, I definitely want to come back and just looked at it as a challenge of getting myself better, making myself become a leader, and trying to help lead the team and getting past the hump and getting to the championship and winning it also.
Looking back at last year, obviously, talk about how it was your first year and there was some adjustments and some growing pain. What is like a goal that you had for yourself this year that you wanted to make sure that you put your best foot forward and went after 100%? Do you feel that you've done that this year now that we're about, over the three-quarter mark?
I mean, well, one of the things that I noticed last year was just that I was pretty consistent with the way that I played, and that's what I wanted to do this year better, was just be more consistent. But I realized that I had to take the whole package with preparation, film study, practicing hard, and then bringing all that into the game. But to say that, to ask myself if I'm there, I mean, I still got work to do. I could still be better. My goal is to make it to the next level like mostly everybody in this league. So, I mean, obviously I haven't made it there, so obviously I've still got work to do.
Do you feel that you've played to your potential this season as far as like your own personal expectations?
No, I always tell myself I can do better. I don't ever think that I'm where I want to be. So I mean, I always, like I said, preparing better, even harder, trying to figure out new things that I could improve on. Getting in the weight room, trying to stay as healthy as I can, just do what I can to prepare for each and every game.
Well, going into the final stretch of the season, there's not a tougher schedule than what you guys have, and I know I've said that on the show a couple of times, but this, I mean, realistically, let's be honest, this is going to come down to as far as who plays where. You got a couple of weeks before you're at home against the Rattlers. You're still their only loss, and then you guys go on the road once again to Sioux Falls, and that's all 7 days apart from each other, and then, of course, after that, you guys get a little bit of a break, and then we'll find out the seeding, and you guys will wrap everything up at home against Cedar Rapids. But I mean, how important is it to you guys to continue to, one, play at this level, but then two, make sure that you guys are dodging the injury bug? Because that was a lot of your guys' success last year, was that you guys didn't have nearly the attrition that other teams did at significant points in the season.
I'd say Coach Wooten, he does a spectacular job of just making sure that we get to the athletic trainers if we have any bumps or bruises, just making sure our nutrition's well, making sure that we're in the weight room, just even if it's like just a small lift or something, he's just always making sure that we're doing what we can to stay as healthy as we can. And I mean, I feel like just those things, just him just making sure that we are doing that. I mean, it helps us a lot, even though like sometimes some of us don't even realize it. Like, I mean, it does help us a lot.
Now, if you guys were to lose both those games to Arizona and Iowa, obviously neither one of those is the United Bowl. But, I mean, is that something that it can break a player's spirit, especially so close to the postseason? Or is it something that, you realize that can happen and the ultimate goal is the one that comes, the second weekend in July when you're playing for the championship?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, that can happen. We could lose those games, but I mean, we don't look at it. We don't go into our weeks like that. I mean, we always look into the week as we got another team standing in front of us, and we got a goal to reach, and that team that's in front of us is what we got to get through. So we don't take anything differently as if we was playing Arizona or someone like Green Bay or Cedar Rapids. We look at them as all the same. They're all grown men like we are. So, I mean, they're there to play football, so are we.
All right, man. Last question for you. If you guys were to go on to the United Bowl and host one in Iowa, and after everything that happened last year and now this year, first time beating Sioux Falls in franchise history, and then you guys maybe host the United Bowl and you win, like, what would that mean to you on a personal level as a player? Because obviously you're still young in this league, but so many people correlate the Barnstormers with Kurt Warner, and that was, decades ago. But he put him on the map, and for you guys to then sort of make your own mark this season as a player, what would that mean to you?
I mean, it'd be an amazing feeling. I mean, I feel like many people kind of wrote us off just because some of the people that we didn't sign, like Javis, for example, I mean, he's an amazing player and everything. So when people like noticed that like we weren't signing like some of those players that we had last season, which we had a successful team. I mean, I feel like a couple people wrote us off, but they're still seeing the success of the great coaching that we've been getting. So if we happen to get the United Bowl back in Iowa and winning that, I mean, just that challenge that we put on ourselves coming from last year, I mean, just completing that challenge, I mean, it would be an amazing feeling.
Yeah, I don't doubt that, man. Well, we've got some football left to be played. We'll see how it all sorts itself out as far as the postseason, the seeding, who plays where, when, and then, of course, the United Bowl that second weekend in July. So, hey, Bryce, doing a hell of a job this season, man. Keep balling out. I appreciate you taking the time to join me here on the show tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. You take care.
You too.
Once again, that was Bryce Enyard, defensive back for the Iowa Barnstormers, and I knew he was going to have a good season. I really did. You can call me, Captain Hindsight, but let's be honest, okay? When you get the Fan Show Player of the Game, it means good things for you in the rest of your season. Or if you get it late in the season, it means that you probably had like a pretty baller season. So they got it early, right? He was second, third player of the game this tour. Him and Brady Rowland, they had a fantastic game, and it's so much so that me, coach, and the rest of the front office couldn't decide between the two of them. So I said, hey, you know what, let's do a fan show first, and we've got our first co-players of the game, an offensive and a defensive. So those guys, best of luck to them the rest of the season. And that was great talking to another Barnstormer. And I also wanted to talk to you guys as I take a drink of my lovely raspberry peace tea here. About if you're interested in co-working. That's right. Praxis is Spokane's newest co-working space. In this space, they value diversity, inclusion, and a sense of community. And it's that sense of community, which is why I advocate for them here on the Fan Show, because I felt it. 2018 Spokane Entrepreneurship Award for Best Media was because Praxis wanted to recognize young entrepreneurs in this area in a number of different categories. And so I, threw my hat out there, my name in that hat, and I was very blessed to have Spokane Sport and Spine nominate me as well. But it was a great time, and that's the kind of community that they're talking about. At Praxis, they celebrate young entrepreneurs, collaborate together, and help each other to create the best work life possible. Praxis, located on the 4th floor of the Holly Mason Building, 157 South Howard Street in Spokane, Washington. The lease is for a space that is 3,500 square feet and is equipped with a small kitchenette, conference room, small office, large open area. There are excellent parking options, a coffee shop down in the bottom of the building, Rocket Bakery, and a space that is only a 9-minute walk from River Park Square. $275 a month is what they're offering, which is month-to-month price, but however, there are discounts available for a longer-term commitment. And I think I just saw on their social media, facebook.com, and Praxis, or Twitter, Praxis as well. Go and look them up on there. And that was discounted for a 3-month one. A membership to Praxis includes a personal desk, access to all business and recreational amenities, a key, Wi-Fi, and use of private rooms as they are available. There are no hidden fees, no conference room fees, and no limited amount of minutes you can spend in certain areas. $275 gets you everything that Praxis has to offer, so why not take them up on that offer and be yourself at work? Hit them up, Praxis. We got Robbie with an I, R-O-B-B-I, at praxiscoworking.com, or contact Robbie at 509-220-0817. We will be right back with Robert Brown after this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Joining me from the beautiful state of Maine, he's a Mammoth, and he is having a great season. It is one of my favorites from the Spokane Empire. Robert Brown, how you doing, Bert?
Man, I'm doing good, man. You know, always nice when it comes down to my man. What's going on?
So, pretty tough, wild and crazy loss. Like, I haven't seen a finish like that, but I love the potential rivalry that we're seeing between you and Mass, of course. A lot of good guys on both sides there of the ball. You got Hag, Squally, and you and your brother. And I didn't even know that your brother got put on Maine until I saw, like, the photos. Was that something that, like, he requested when you got moved there, or how did that come about?
Well, it was actually a mistake. He went across the waiver as Robert Brown. You know, they always get that confused somehow, some way. So it just looked like I signed twice. It's weird, but you know, we try to reach out to the commissioner. It's just one of those things, man. They know it's two of us, but for some reason, my name always get used.
Well, you guys are on the same team finally, and actually playing. Last time, you know, it was with the Empire, and I still feel bad to this day because you know, I had you guys on the show like the night before final cuts, and I was just like, oh man, like what if it's one of you guys that they cut, and you're just like, man, they know better than that. And then sure enough, your brother, and I was just like, oh, I feel so terrible.
Man, still leave a bad taste in my mouth. One of those bad moments, you know, in this professional career. But you know, it's part of the job. You know, we take it on the chin, take what comes with the job. Yeah, man, we always end up right back on each other's roster some way somehow. So it always works out.
How's it been playing with him, like in official capacity, having the same colors and everything under the same lights?
Man, it's been great so far. You know, he just got out here not too long ago, so he's really just now getting in and getting into things out here in Maine. So it's great to have him out here, and we all know he's a playmaker. We just really ready to unleash him. You know, one of those players where he get the ball and just explodes in one play. So, man, it's been great having him. Coach loves him. You know, he's a good team guy, and man, we just hopefully can help us get some more wins.
Now, I remember, you know, during the Empire, Hellwidge was the guy that was, like, the closest to home because he was living over in Seattle at the time. But the rest of you guys were from all over the place. But I never realized until, like, this NAL just how many of you guys were from the East Coast. Like, we're not talking, like, you know, Central America, like the Midwest or anything. We're talking, like, a good chunk of you guys all came from like that East Coast, and so now you guys are all playing in the NAL, which is, you know, located on the East Coast. And you know, I know that you guys had your game against Massachusetts, and you were hanging out with Hag and Squally. But how's it been for you playing a lot closer to home? Even I know Maine's a bit up there, but obviously you're going to travel to like Carolina and Jacksonville. Like how's that been for you?
Man, you know, the East Coast played a big decision, and a lot of me and my guys, you know, the friends that we played with in the past, a lot of us, you know, came from the IFL. So that East Coast is just kind of like, okay, you played on the West for so long, you know, and over there and played in that league for a couple of years. So we're like, man, this opportunity to stay closer to home, it's like, who can pass that up? You know, same film, same game. So we just like, man, we got to stay on this East Coast, give it a chance. But, man, we definitely miss the IFL, no doubt about it. Man, you know, the IFL is just one of those leagues. It's a fun league, you know, got more of the outdoor field. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy the NAL, you know. It's been a different first season, different compared to the IFL, man. So be looking out for the IFL also. You know, it's not completely over with. You know, we just trying the NAL out, man. Trying the East Coast field out, you know.
Hey, man, I get it. For you guys to come from so far away for 2 years and to be here and get so close, you know, I think it's probably not even like about a championship at this point. You guys just want to see more familiar faces in the crowd. And I think that was Hag's big decision as well as Squally's was, you know, like their whole families, which is big families, they can all show up on Saturday.
It's hard to pass up these opportunities, man. When these teams just land in your home state, you know, it's so hard, man.
Yeah, no, man, I get it. But you're in Maine now. You started out in Jacksonville, and I'm sure that Jacksonville and even Nebraska are missing you right now because they've had their struggles recently. But Maine, I think, is a team that's getting better and better every week. Certainly looked like that this last week against Massachusetts, and in a rivalry that I hope that we see for a while. But what's your thoughts on the culture that is Maine football and everything that you've experienced since you got there, and just like the mentality and the mood?
Oh man, the head coach, Coach Fuller, he's great, man. He's a great guy, great players coach. He understands the game a lot, been around for a while, so he made it a lot easier to transition. I talked to him about my release from Jacksonville, and he understood. Man, it was, unfortunately, it was a lot of competition in Jacksonville, and coach was evaluating throughout the season and stuff, so it was tough in Jacksonville, and, one wrong move, and it could be your last in this profession. So, I understood what came with the game and the territory. Man, it's just one of those moves that you leave a bad taste in your mouth, but you got to keep going, and because you know what you can do, and you just want to lose the fun of the game. So you want to go somewhere where you're relaxed and can play football and enjoy the game still. So man gave me the opportunity after Jacksonville. I did start those 2 games out there. Man, it was great being closer to home, man. But hey, sometimes the calling is not what you want sometimes. So, but definitely, man, me and my brother, we've been out here in Maine for the last couple of weeks, and his team's been coming together real nice, man. It's a lot of young guys on the team, so the environment was, you can feel like it's a lot of talent, but it's just young talent. So, me been having my experience in the IFL for a couple of years, and a couple guys, Nico, and Wilson. So Bang, quarterbacks, a couple of vet guys, but not a lot compared to many of the other NAL teams. So being able to come out here in this situation, being able to show some leadership in the secondary and stuff like that, it felt good, and it was a relief. So man, I'm just glad I started making some plays, got my feet wet, and I think I'm on track, man.
It certainly looks that way. You're always a player that produces results, which is why it's always a shock to me if you get, moved around or shuffled a bit. But, it was funny because you were actually going to be the first Sharks player that I was ever going to have on the show when you were on that roster. And, of course, Kendi was supposed to play down there, too. But, I got to ask, and I'm not asking for, trash talk or anything, but it just seems – so I know I've had Coach Fuller on the show before, great guy. I know Coach Billy Back. Him and I go back to last season with the Nighthawks, and then, of course, Amir with Mass. But I don't know the Lions head coach yet. And it seems like Jacksonville is just something different, and I can't find the right word for it. But your time there, what was your experience like, and how would you describe the type of different that they are?
It's different. It's a lot going on in Jacksonville, besides football and stuff, man. It's a championship atmosphere, so they hold their players to high standards and stuff, man. It's one of those places you would like to play and win a championship, man. But at the end of the day, if things not working within the organization here and there, it's just little things, man. I'm not sure what it was, man. There's a lot of great guys I came in account with. We all somehow, some way, we just starting to you're just picking them off the roster. So it's like you man, what's going on down there? But man, I'm just starting to get some games won. So it's a good. Some moves are better than none, man. It's just one of those situations. There's just so much going on. It's hard to focus on football when players. I always say players play better when they're relaxed. When you can have fun, you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Man, it's just like we went through those 2 weeks of training camp, and you feel relieved once you make the team, but wow, it's like it's not over yet. It's professional, so you just gotta keep making plays week in, week out, my man, and hopefully coach sees the best in you and keep you around. Just like I said, so much high expectation in Jacksonville. I think just because we won one and we lost one, I think everybody started panicking in the organization. I'm not sure, but I got caught up in it, and man, I'm just one of those. I'm so built so tough, man. Me and my brother, we get knocked down, we just get right back up. So, man, no love lost for Jacksonville. I understand the whole situation, and so I was definitely most appreciative for Coach Burley out there for bringing me out, giving me my brother did come out for a little bit. he had opportunity. You know, we were out for it, but things turned out different, man. I think we were meant to be out of Maine this year, you know. So unfortunately, I've been part of a lot of conference championship teams in the IFL and stuff. You know, we both have, but this year, I think he wants us to fight it out this year. So that's what we're gonna do. Give Maine our all.
Yeah, man. I get that. I think it's great for you guys to finally be on a roster together and play relaxed, because I know that, you know, tensions were high in Spokane last year, and of course, you know, that seems to be a trend. Obviously, the bar was set very high for Jacksonville going into this year, being the defending champions. But every year is different, especially at this level. You know, there's so much turnover, nothing seems to stay the same. So I'm glad that you guys found a spot with a coach that appreciates your veteran leadership and that you guys can play a little bit more relaxed in. Like I said, I think that Maine, although an expansion team, is one that's going to continue to improve and get better, and that's why you guys are there. So, man, I'm so glad I got to talk to you and catch up with you a little bit. But, man, I hope to see you again this season. It was so great to see you guys in Carolina, and I know that was a lot of fun. You and TC there, man, brought back a lot of memories.
Man, it was always nice seeing, you know, anytime we can catch you at the game, man, see that belt, you know, I want to get my hands around that belt still, man. You know, it's been a while, but I'm going to get my hands back on it, man. You know, like I said, I'm just starting to get my feet back wet and enjoying the game. So it should be an interesting year. It's a long season, and definitely don't count the Maine Mammoths out, man. We got a ton of football left in us and a ton of fight, a lot of roster moves coming up. So, you know, it's going to be a fun season.
Yep, absolutely right. Maine Mammoths and the rest of the NAL have plenty of football left to be played, but he is Robert Brown of the Maine Mammoths, the first ever Fan Show player of the game in Fan Show history. So, my man, tell your brother hello and take care of yourself, all right?
Will do, my man. Yes, sir. You do the same. Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, that was Robert Brown, and oh man, the name mix-up on the waiver wire, that's too funny. That is classic Brown Brothers. It really is. So we're going to go right into our last commercial break. I've got one more guest for you this evening, so don't go anywhere. We've got plenty more of the Fan Show coming up right after this.
This is The Sheet.
Gets me all revved up. My face is now red. My ears are just freaking boiling.
He's so raw that Sky hates him.
Yeah, he had 51 touchdowns, 4,900 total yards.
I know y'all like that, but I got to run, and only in Alabama that could happen, I have to say.
They're so good, man. They would win the Big Ten if they were in the Big Ten. You could be doing something vision-based in front of you and reach down and grab a handful of insane goodness.
Give it to him. Kudos. I'm clapping like a golfer. Very good, Johnny. I'm proud of you.
Wow. You guys agree on something again? I'm very impressed. You ever had a bad week? You know, just you walk outside, step in a puddle, like right when you walk outside. I mean, how's a puddle right outside your house? Or you stand on the curb and somebody drives by and splashes water up on you? Or it's just raining on you, not anyone else?
I will tell you, before you go any further, I cannot hear Chad when he speaks. Good.
Here, listen to the sheet, man. I don't really know what we're doing.
Every Saturday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on WBLZ Sports.
Whether it be your industrial, commercial, or residential needs, Gen Service is the electrical contractor for you. The Gen Service team has the expertise, commitment, and educational years to help you solve all your electrical concerns. They have you in their best interest with helpful suggestions to accommodate your every want. Give them a call, no matter the size of the job, at 740-438-7173. Mention WBLZ Sports, and you'll get a discount. That's Gen Service, 740-438-7173.
This is Nick Ficarelli, the mad scientist of sports. Join me and Dr. D, Derek Jones, live every Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific, for the Mad Scientist Sports Lab. The big intellects, the experiments on the chalkboard, and the guest subjects will be rolling in. Mad Scientist Sports Lab, only on WBLZ Sports, where we got balls.
Doug Peffer Painting and Pressure Washing. He has over 30 years of painting experience. He's interior, exterior, commercial, or residential. Doug Peffer covers it all. Is your house looking ugh? We'll call on Doug. Doug Peffer Painting and Pressure Washing. 404-966-3361. Mention WBLZ Sports and get a special We've Got Balls discount. That's Doug Peffer Painting and Pressure Washing. 404-966-3361.
Check out Thursday Night Tailgate, where NFL legends live on. We bring you 5 NFL legends every week, sharing their stories and insights, plus our spotlight on the positive. Hear which players are doing great things in their communities. Now on WBLZ Sports Talk Radio and WBLZSports.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and with me is a member of the Spokane Wolfpack who witnessed firsthand just how much I can cook myself on a hot, sunny day in Spokane. It is Mike Glenn of the Wolfpack. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great, man. Yeah, you were out there looking like a lobster, man. I've seen it firsthand. He was cooking himself pretty good out there.
Oh, dude, it hurts. It hurts so bad right now. I'm not even joking.
I even got a little burnt, man. I'm kind of light complexion, light complexion. So, I was getting a little burnt out there too. But, I'm feeling good, man. It's a great week, good week, to say the least.
Well, we had a car wash. We raised some money for you guys to cover some player fees, and it was, in my mind, it was a success because it was the first time that we had tried something like this. I know that Travis, your guys' owner and coach, had like a bit of a higher bar set, but I think given the circumstances, you guys worked hard, you worked well, and you guys earned every bit of it. So I was happy that we could help alleviate some player fee stress for some of you. But of course, that was all in lieu to preparation of the big opening day this Saturday at Joe Albee. How you feeling about getting finally to take the field?
Man, I'm really excited. I think the team is too. We haven't had any preseason games or anything like that, so we really haven't had any, real live game action. It's, like some cage wolves, man. We're ready to get out there and play some football, hit somebody with a different color on. There's a lot of excitement going on. I don't even want to think about it. I'm trying to keep my mind on other things. So I'm not, just killing my energy before game day. I got to say that for the Rage.
Yeah, and
so Mr. Brandon Tate, if you're out there and you hear me, man, I'm gonna save it for you guys, right?
This will be your guys' one and only game at Albee, which is where you guys played all of last season. But from what I understand, your guys' new home, which will be at Whitworth, is a lot better for you guys just because of the way that certain facilities are, which, Albee's great and everything, but I'll be the first to tell you that, they can update that field as much as they want, but that place is ancient. Like, we're talking LA Coliseum. Yeah, there's a lot of history there, but we can't wait for the new stadium kind of feel. So nothing against Joe Albee. It'll be a great last hurrah for you guys there, of course, pending what the future holds as far as where you guys call home. But I'm excited for this because this was the team that you guys played last year in the playoffs, so obviously there's a lot of built-up frustration there, hopefully carrying over. But what's the mood been like in the locker room going from practice to practice, getting ready for this weekend?
Practice has been good. I see a lot of guys focused. Definitely it's a new-look team. There's a lot of young guys, a lot of new faces. Definitely for myself, I left for 2 years, and I came back after, playing 4 years with the Wolfpack previously. And, kind of coming back to, a lot of new surroundings. But there's a lot of fire. People are ready to get out there and play and excited about the game. So I definitely like the enthusiasm and the confidence that we have going on right now. And I think we're going to, surprise some people. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Now, as I understand it, you are the one who is responsible for one of the new faces on the team, from the arena to the gridiron. There's going to be a face out there that used to don the black and orange of the Spokane Empire. Is that correct?
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have Jonah Austin playing with us. So he did make it out last practice and, was meeting the fellas and everything and meeting the team. So, yeah, and I know Jacob Musey played a big part in that, on getting them connected. We just kept on reaching out to them and just let them know, we wanted to go after some of the top talent in Spokane, so why not target some of those players?
Yeah.
And, I feel if we're going to compete and, really put a team out there that's going to go after a championship, that we need some of that top-tier talent, and he's definitely one of the players out here in Spokane that will give us that.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you're going to swing for the fences, swing for the fences. There's no interpretation of that saying. I mean, if you're going to go out there and try to get them, you might as well go out there and try to get them. Don't sell yourself short. So, obviously, we'll see how that works out. Hopefully, he decides to throw on a jersey and get out there and hit some guys. But that would be a great pickup and acquisition for you guys as a team. But there's some unfinished business going into this season. You guys made the postseason last year. You had a great regular season, and now you're going to look to finish that off and bring a championship home to Spokane. How long have you been in this league, and what would a championship mean to you at the end of this season?
My first year playing was in 2012. So I played 2012 to 2015, and I mean, we were in the championship 3 of those years. And, you know, going against Wenatchee Valley, that's definitely one of our rivals. I was in the championship against Wenatchee for 3 years, and we lost every one of them. So, you know, that's definitely, I'm never going to forget that. And, you know, it leaves a sour taste in your mouth. And me leaving and leaving away from the pack, going to Phoenix, I never thought I was going to play for Spokane ever again. So, you know, just coming back, playing with the team where I started playing semi-pro ball, it means a lot to me. And, you know, if we can get to that championship level, you know, it's icing on the cake and it would definitely make me feel good. And, you know, you got those players out there like Scott Ward that's been playing since 1920s. And you want to get a championship for people like that too.
Oh man, you got to send a guy off riding into the sunset on a horse and not inside of a hearse. So yeah, you definitely want to do this one for Scott. But if you had to pick out one thing that made you excited about the 2018 Wolfpack, what would it be?
Like I said, I think it's just the new faces. We got a lot of young guys, and they're just excited. You know, there's an excitement around the program, a confidence that, you know, I haven't really seen before. So, you know, sometimes they get on my nerves, you know, the younger kids and stuff. You know, I'm at the ripe age of 32. So, you know, just, you know, sometimes young kids get on my nerves, you know, we get into it, you know, some disagreements. But, I mean, these dudes are ready to ball, man. They're ready to ball. They got confidence. And I think we're going to take it to some teams. And, you know, we've been kind of quiet, not saying much during the off season. You get a lot of teams that are talking and saying a lot of things, but we're just kind of doing what we do, being quiet while we do it. But we're gonna get loud here pretty soon. So, you know, rolling in this weekend, it's going to be pretty much a playoff type of, you know, environment right off the bat, because this Tri-City Rage game is going to be huge. They're a good team. We're a good team, and they're now in our division, which definitely sweetens the game up a little bit here.
Yeah, it'd be great to start off with a revenge W against the Tri-City Rage. And, of course, that will happen this Saturday, Joe Albee Stadium. That is May the 19th. Kickoff is at 5 o'clock. Come and support the Spokane Wolfpack. This is Mike Glenn of the Spokane Wolfpack. And, Mike, we appreciate all that you do both on and off the field. So I look forward to seeing you guys kick some ass this weekend. But, hey, man, thanks for taking the time and getting us hyped for Wolfpack football.
It's my pleasure, Richard. I hope to see everybody out there this weekend, May 19th, 5 p.m., Joe Albee. It should be a good one.
All right, man. You take care of yourself. Get some rest. Get ready.
Go Wolfpack.
All right. Last but not least, Mike Glenn of the Spokane Wolfpack. Like I said, Joe Albee Stadium this Saturday, May the 19th. Kickoff is at 5 p.m. local time, which is Pacific time. I don't know why I felt the need to emphasize that, but I did anyway. So that will be a continuation. Last year's coverage I did for the Spokane Wolfpack. Nice little teaser there. Got a great week of shows, of course, tonight. Starting off great. 3 great guests. And we're going to have 2 more nights of great guests this week as well. Tomorrow night we start our official weekly Battlebots segment. It's robot fighting time. And we've got... the guys from, it's either Double Trouble or Double Jeopardy. I haven't confirmed which one it is yet. And with a backstory for each one. Double Trouble because they're twin bot builders, or Double Jeopardy because they're lawyers. So we'll get to the bottom of that tomorrow. And then we also have, of course, some more NAL, IFL players, including Nick Hague, Brian Hicks, and Lorenzo White Jr. So plenty of good things to come this week on the Fan Show. Of course, if you missed any of tonight's episode, and if you missed any of the ones in the past, then you can go and subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, and of course iHeartRadio. If you're able to listen live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, then that is on thefanshow.com or Spreaker.com/user/thefanshow. And you can catch replays of the show the following day on WBLZ Sports. Don't forget to check out our social media. Follow on Twitter at FanShowOfficial. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/FanShowOfficial. And for those of you that are the visual type, then Instagram and Snapchat are just for you, and both of those are simply The Fan Show. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. Been a great start to another great week. Best of luck to you and yours. Go Niners. And remember, of course, it's all fun and games until you butt fumble. Good night, folks.
Do you remember the time that Mark Sanchez ran into his own player's butt? That was funny sports.
Thank you for having me on the show, man. I love the Fan Show.